My name is Dr. Jennifer Taylor-Cousar. I'm an adult and pediatric pulmonologist at National Jewish Health in Denver. Today we're here to answer questions from the CF community about infection. This question is from Gigi. Do we have any statistics on how many people with cystic fibrosis have Burkholderia gliadolii, and are there any successful treatment plans? Fortunately, people with cystic fibrosis have really low rates of Burkholderia in general, of around 3%. And the even better news is those rates have actually gone down a little bit over time rather than increasing. We also have a lot of initiatives that are looking at treatment of gram-negative bacteria, so I think that's going to help greatly for people with cystic fibrosis who have Burkholderia. This question is from @SDGirlBabe. Explain in detail the risk of infection between people with CF, especially the reason for the 6-foot rule. The topic of infection control is a really important one in cystic fibrosis. The reason it's so important is because we now know that people with CF can transfer germs from themselves to other people with cystic fibrosis. And what we don't want to happen is for one person to give someone a new bacteria that they didn't have before. And we know now also from research that was done in Australia that when we used to think people would cough and those bacteria would drop right to the ground, we now know that they can travel over longer distances, up to 6 feet. It's really important for people with cystic fibrosis to stay at least 6 feet apart. This question is from Emily. MRSA is a big and growing problem for the CF community with minimal treatment options. What efforts are underway to stimulate the development of new antimicrobials for MRSA? Emily, that's a great question and observation. Unfortunately, MRSA rates actually have increased in people with cystic fibrosis over the last few years. But there are actually drugs that are being tested right now to treat MRSA. For example, there's a study of inhaled vancomycin that someone would take every other month, in the same way that we use inhaled antibiotics like tobramycin for Pseudomonas. Additionally, there are studies looking at how we should eradicate MRSA in people with cystic fibrosis. Thank you all for sending in these really great questions. You're paying a lot of attention to what's going on in the CF research community. We really appreciate it.